The ghost name. Fact number 1. The word gladiatrix is a modern invention from the 1800s. A Roman never heard it. We called them ludia, woman attached to a gladiator school, or simply mulieres, women fighting. Were they rare? Yes. Were they the main event? No. They were the special attraction. The halftime show to wake up the crowd. When a woman stepped into the arena, the stadium held its breath. To see a man die is normal. It is war brought to the city. To see a woman, the giver of life, holding a gladius and trying to disembowel another woman? That is an inversion of nature. It is shocking. It is electric. The game editors knew this. They didn't waste women on common fights. They were saved for lavish festivals to show that the sponsor had money to burn and taboos to break. The unveiling. The erotic armor. Male gladiators fight bare-chested. Why? To show courage. To show there is no hidden armor. So the blood is visible the instant the cut happens. The women? They followed the same rule. Many fought topless, or with an open tunic exposing one breast, mimicking the legendary Amazons who, legend says, cut off one breast to shoot their bows better. For the plebs in the stands, this was an explosive mix of lust and horror. You see women mud wrestling these days? That is child's play. Imagine an athletic woman, glistening with oil, wearing only a heavy helmet, bronze greaves, and a sword, fighting to the death with her breasts exposed. It wasn't just combat. It was a deadly fetish. The crowd didn't know whether to cheer for victory or cheer to see the armor slip. It was the emperor's ultimate marketing, blood and sex in the same package. The Iron Ladies, rich and bored. You think they were all prisoners of war or forced slaves? Think again. Rome reached such a level of decadence that noblewomen, daughters of knights and even senators, started volunteering to fight. Why would a woman who has slaves to wash her feet step into the sand to bleed? Boredom and adrenaline addiction. Roman society was a gilded cage for rich women. Stay home, spin wool, have babies. The arena offered ultimate freedom, the chance to be a god for a few minutes. But there was a social cost, infamia. By fighting, you lost your legal rights and social status. You became filthy before the law, and they didn't care. The scandal was so huge that in 19 AD, we had to pass laws specifically banning daughters of senators from fighting. If the law exists, it's because the crime was happening. They traded dignity for the point of a sword. Amazon and Achillia, the stone proof. For centuries, historians said female gladiators were just rumors, until we found a marble slab in Halicarnassus. On it, 2 women are locked in mortal combat. They have shields, greaves, and short swords. But there is something unique. They are helmetless. Why? So no one doubts they are women. Below them, their war names, Amazon and Achillia, mythological names for an epic duel. And above them, the Greek inscription says they received missio, the honorable draw. This is extremely rare. It means they fought with such ferocity and skill that the crowd screamed for both to live. They weren't just meat for the show. They were sword masters who forced the audience to respect them. They walked out of the arena alive, free, and legendary. Domitian's Circus of Horrors. Emperor Domitian didn't just want games, he wanted living nightmares. He thought the sun was boring. So, he introduced night games. Imagine the Colosseum at midnight, lit only by flickering torches and bonfires. Shadows dance on the walls. And who enters the arena? Women. But who do they fight? Other women. Not always. Domitian ordered gladiatrices to fight dwarves. Yes. Warrior women against men with dwarfism, armed to the teeth. To him, the visual contrast was the punchline. The athletic beauty of the woman against the compressed stature of the dwarf. A battle of monsters and muses. The crowd laughed, screamed, and placed bets. It was grotesque, it was unfair, and it was the most popular show of the decade. It wasn't about martial skill, it was bizarre theater under firelight, where Roman dignity died a little with every strike. Juvenal's hatred, the social critique. We know so much about these women thanks to a man who hated them, the poet Juvenal. In his famous Satire 6, he paints a grotesque and fascinating picture of a Roman lady training. He describes, she wraps her legs with thick bands, she demands the heavy belt, she grabs the wooden sword and attacks the training post. Pallas. Whack! 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 She grunts, she sweats, she strikes with perfect rhythm and technique. Juvenal asks, horrified, "What modesty can a woman show who wears a helmet and denies her own sex?" To him, seeing a Roman matron panting and striking like a dockworker was the end of civilization. He mocks, "Imagine if her husband dies, and they auction her things. Who will buy the widow's belt, gauntlets, and arm guard?" He gave us the proof that they trained hard. They didn't play fight. They sweated like us. And to traditional men, that was unforgivable. Venatrices, beast hunters. Fighting a human is chess. Fighting a lion is pure survival. Many women weren't classic gladiators, they were specialized hunters. At the inauguration of the Colosseum in 80 AD, the poet Martial saw something that dropped his jaw. He describes a woman who entered the arena and killed a massive lion with a spear. He wrote, "Hercules killed the Nemean lion, but that is ancient legend. Today, Roman fame belongs to a woman." Think of the image. A woman alone on the sand, facing a 400-pound predator that knows neither mercy nor chivalry. These women, the Venatrices, were idolized not for cruelty, but for skill. They represented the victory of Roman civilization over wild nature. And let's be honest, seeing a man kill a tiger is impressive. Seeing a woman do it? That is divine. The party is over. Everything excessive in Rome eventually gets cut off. In the year 200 AD, Emperor Septimius Severus watched a gymnastic spectacle where women competed. The crowd started making dirty jokes, mocking not just the athletes, but the noble women in the stands. Severus, a military man and severe like his name, realized the danger. If women fight, they cease to be the moral reserve of the Roman family. If a matron can kill, who will raise the sons? Also, there was a silent fear. What if they started winning too much? What if men looked weak by comparison? So, he signed the decree. Total ban. No woman, slave or free, could step onto the sand with a weapon ever again. The gladiatrices vanished from history, retreating back into the shadows. They were a brief, bright, and violent flame. And Rome, afraid of getting burned, blew out the light.